Coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
There we go. Hey there, how you been?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. I'm still not moving, but that's okay because you are, and I think people care more about that anyway. So it's all good.
As long as you don't get... No, you're moving. You're moving. We're good.
Okay, yeah, a little behind, but it's still working. You can hear me okay though, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. So
Okay.
everyone just do a choppy picture of me, normal voice, and the wonderful Marlene in full HD, it looks like. Looking beautiful as always. How have you been? How's your week?
It's been good. I've been a little tired lately, but we're good.
What do you call it? Yeah, it's I don't know. It's been lazy days lately.
Yeah. I think because it's been cold out.
That could have something to do with it right there. Honestly, like when it gets cold, I'm lazier than when it gets hot. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, like I don't want to go out at night. I'm too cold. I'm like a grandma. I want hot chocolate.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I totally agree with that. I would 100% rather sit at home, drink something warm, and not deal with other people when I don't want to be outside anyway.
My friend invited me out to drink, and I was like, I'm too cold.
Dang.
And I got a vodka cranberry, and I forgot I had ice, and I was like, fuck.
I don't really know many hot alcoholic drinks. There's like a hot toddy,
Mm-hmm.
but that's about it. I don't know any warm like spirits. I usually drink them all with ice or nothing at all. Just
Which is perfect for summer. Like that is the time I really want the cold drinks, pina coladas, all that stuff. But not winter time. I want hot chocolate with marshmallows.
I 100% agree with that.
But try that In-N-Out. The hot chocolate at In-N-Out is pretty good. I've never had it before.
I don't think I didn't even realize they had hot chocolate there.
They do. I recommend it.
I'm gonna have to check that out then. Thank you.
Yes. With the marshmallows.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Can't forget that. Richard, anytime is drinking time. Well, you know what? If you are indoors, you got a nice bar going or a fire, like a big bonfire, so you're not cold outside, then I would agree. Yes, I would be fine with that.
Yeah, I guess I have to find something that is warm.
That's a good call. That is a good call. Or just a very strong drink, and then you don't even feel cold anymore. Then you're good.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I'm a lightweight. That's really hard. I get drunk pretty fast, though.
Well, I will make sure to remember that. So if we go drinking, like I don't know, I'm gonna get her something light. Start off,
Or
go
soda.
very slowly. Yeah. Yes, Richard. Yeah, every time. I think that's pretty much 80% of what we do at Texas Frightmare is drink and then go check out horror stuff, drink some more, go shopping at horror stuff, drink some more, and then go have fun with people. That's pretty much the entire plan. in a nutshell.
That sounds good, but there's been people in my life where I'm like, I need to get drunk. I can't stand them. Like, I cannot be sober around them. Like, I need to be really, really drunk. Give me the strongest thing you have because they're so annoying.
That's fair.
I've had that in my life.
Sometimes you gotta. It's it's
to
sad,
get
but
through it.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna start this off. Then we were talking about Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, who actually just passed away. I believe last year or 2020.
Yeah.
He had time to complain about the pandemic and the rules before he passed away. That blew my mind. I thought this was because it feels so long ago. I mean, his murders were in the late 60s, early 70s.
He died of COVID, right? That's what I heard.
I want to say I don't know if he died of COVID or he just he had COVID.
Yeah.
And previous suspected heart attack 2 weeks prior to that. So he had some health problems to begin with, and he was pretty old, 74 when he passed away. Yeah, November 13th, 2020. That just blows my mind that he experienced some of the stuff we had to deal with in a topic that we have to cover in this way of him being unbelievably evil. For those who might not know the story, he killed 13 women in the UK, throughout the UK, which is it blows. I don't know where all these locations are. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know my England geography, so I gotta catch up.
This case was hard for me. Like, I had to stop. Like, researching it, I would stop and then I'd go back to it because it would make me really sad and angry.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, it's and there's so many chances to kind of stop him if they would have just taken a couple different turns when doing, the hunt for the Yorkshire Ripper, which I think is a crazy cool name that they gave him. That's way too cool for him. Obviously, like play on Jack the Ripper and whatnot. But here we go. Real quick, the attacks and murders happened in Leeds, Bradford, Manchester, Huddersfield, Halifax, Kingley, and Silsden. I think Silsden? Yes. There we go. Some weird names, but definitely where they happened. Throughout the case, they interviewed thousands upon thousands of men. They took leads that led to nowhere. It was kind of a cluster. The entire time, they just kept screwing it up.
And one thing too, so the police would get like tapes and letters from the killer, and then it turned out it was a hoax. And I was like, who would do that? Like, you just put the investigation behind. Like, why do you find that funny?
Yeah, that blew my mind too. I didn't know that going into this one. Gosh dang.
Because they had him in custody, but because they had the papers and the letters, it didn't match his handwriting, and they had to let him go because of the supposed evidence of the killer writing the police.
Yes, Wareside Jack is the nickname they gave him. His name is John Samuel Humble. Is the guy who for some reason made an audio recording and like you said, a couple of letters pretending to be the Yorkshire Ripper, kind of copying the old style of the Jack the Ripper letters that were sent to the police and to the detectives and the neighborhood watch in the area during that time. But those are also believed to be fakes. Like people think that all of those are fake as well.
Which I don't understand. Why would you lie about something or make a joke?
No, it makes no sense.
And they found him because he licked the envelope, so they had his DNA.
Yes. Well, he wasn't in the system at the time. So when he was finally caught, when he was 60, he got 8 years in prison for it. So that's good, at least, because that really screwed up the case for a while.
Yes, because they had him in custody, but obviously the evidence of his handwriting didn't match it. And they were saying, like, this can't be him.
So they just kind of, we'll let him go. It has to be somebody else. There's no way this could be fake. Richard, did he leave a signature after his murders? Not so much a signature, but he did have a...
What is it, a memo?
What's that?
What is it, like an MO, when he has like a
Yeah,
signature way of, he has like a style of killing people or attacking them.
exactly. Yes,
Like,
and a lot of it had to do with his hammer.
yes, that was the first time I've heard of a person using a hammer first and then stabbing them multiple times.
Yeah, that was not expected in.
Lots of rage.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, lots of
Definitely.
rage against women.
And he kept doing that over and over again.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing was the police didn't really not get involved, but usually the victims were prostitutes. So they didn't see it as a priority, but I mean, he's still murdering people. So like, because they were prostitutes, it was not something they put it as a priority.
No, unfortunately, no. It got anyone that he attacked that wasn't a prostitute, because he did attack a few people who weren't. They tended to live, like he didn't get a chance to finish what he was doing, so they didn't connect the two, and they just thought he was just angry with sex workers.
One 16-year-old did die though, and that's like the one that started it, like the manhunt, like more.
Oh yes,
died. I forgot her name, but she was 16, and he left her in the park for little kids to find her. Like that really baffled me too.
That one, yeah, that is just ridiculous. I'm gonna look it right here. Let's see. That's attempted. I'm looking. Gosh, what is her name? Jane McDonald. Jane McDonald. She was in Chapelton, Leeds, West Yorkshire, or Yorkshire. Gosh dang it. Cannot pronounce these names to save my life.
I know. I'm not even gonna say it.
He struck her with a hammer and then stabbed her 20 times in the back and chest. So that's brutal. That is ridiculous.
There was one victim that half her skull was like gone from the attack.
Yeah, and how brutal he was. I figured more people would have had a similar injuries, but it looks like most of it was stabbings. Like the hammer came first, and then he started going ballistic with it wasn't a knife. There was a knife. Excuse me. There was a knife and a screwdriver that he sharpened to a point, which is just, oh my gosh, just brutality. That's just like you said, he obviously was just rage. It was just nothing but rage in his actions.
And when he was little, when he was a teenager, he started to get like an obsession with prostitutes too.
Just weird. Like, what are you doing at that age? Come on.
Well, he worked as a gravedigger, and something tells me he probably did something to the bodies as well.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. And he got fired for not showing up. So obviously he wasn't exactly the most organized guy in the world when it came to just regular life stuff. But for some reason, it was obviously partially on the police for kind of bumbling the case a bit, but he did much more work towards his obsession and his killing than he did anything else. But I totally forgot about the graveyard working. His last job, I believe, before he committed his last two crimes, was truck driver, and he actually got caught drinking and driving, so they let him go, and that was an excuse. Like he got so angry, so he had to kill again. And that was towards the end. Again, kind of hopping the.
Was that I remember listening to something they said about the tire tracks that left behind with some bodies, and like it matched his car. But I don't know if it was like the truck.
No, those were personal cars, because he was a big car guy. And the last one they caught him in, which the tire marks did match towards his last car, which I believe was a Range Rover, if I remember correctly.
Whoa.
Hey, it's a pretty nice car. Like, he likes cars, whatever. I mean, it's not my thing. I'm not super into cars, but if you are, don't murder people too. Just be into cars. Just focus on the car.
Exactly.
But let me go back to the top here because I want to go to the beginning of these. He was married twice. His last wife was Sonia Sutcliffe. His first wife, if I can remember, let me get this name.
Which one? I want to talk about that because one of his wives did cheat on him, and that was like the thing that set him into the rage, right, and started murdering women.
Yes. Oh, excuse me. That was Sonia, I believe, was the
The
one
last
who
one.
cheated on him. Was it? So which one? I just had this. No, maybe Sonia was his last wife. Yeah, I think you're right. That was Who was the first wife then? My goodness, because you're right. He did, or she did cheat on him. Excuse me. And then he decided he was going to cheat on her with a prostitute, and then for some reason, she stole like $5 from her or something ridiculous, and he got super angry about it.
And that's how they caught him, right, through the $5 because it was like a new bill.
That comes later. That actually is part of a murder case. This time it was just about taking too much from him, and he got angry about it, and just more embarrassment in front of people, and feeling embarrassed about what happened to him, and just using that as an excuse to kind of start in. Because before the murders is when the first wife came in. And my goodness, this is.
I didn't even know he had two. I thought he had that one wife that cheated on him and that made him get into like a huge, like, that's what tipped him over the edge to murder somebody.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm reading this wrong somewhere because I'm not seeing. Maybe it was one wife, because neither one of them was very good, if I remember correctly. The second, or Sonia at least, was pretty much blind to the whole situation. Like, even if he would have been doing it in front of her, she just didn't notice. She didn't seem to care at all. The only reason she divorced him is because he went to prison. Like, she probably would have stayed with him till death, till COVID.
No, the weird part about that, he was in prison and so many women like would go visit him. He had so many admirers that he had to like tell no to some of them because he didn't want them finding out about each other. And like that blew my mind. I was like, how can he have so many fans?
Yeah, I heard over and over again that he's considered a handsome guy. So I'm going to post the picture. I have the picture right here. I'm going to share it real quick, and you tell me what you think, because I don't see it. I'm not seeing him as a handsome dude here. I mean, he's got a lot of hair.
I think because for me, personality goes a lot more than looks. So I would have to meet him, but he's not a bad-looking guy.
Yeah, he's not. There's nothing wrong with him.
No, there's nothing wrong with him, but it's personality for me. So I guess I would have to meet him. What if he was like those charming Ted Bundy type?
What do you call it? Well, at least ahead of time he is a murderer, so like that should be a big negative. Like, no, maybe your personality is not very good because you like to kill. But my gosh, like that was another. Like his hair, by the way, was a big thing. Him growing up, his personal appearance was a big thing to him, and his brother, apparently his younger brother, would catch him in the bathroom even as a little kid, like staring and like just little bits at a time, little tiny bits, cutting his hair to get it right into the shape he liked. Like
I didn't hear that. That's so funny.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, as a kid, apparently he was very secluded from others. He did not really want to participate with school or with sports or have any fun with any. He liked to go to the library, but he didn't even like to read. He just wanted to sit there and be alone and quiet.
I kind of get that. I can relate. Sometimes I just need to be alone and quiet, but I don't have the rage to go murder people.
See, that's what I like to hear.
Remember I told you I just like have to get really drunk so I can't be sober around them.
That's for the best. This way, you can have drunk and happy thoughts at least versus sober angry thoughts like, why do I have to hang out with this person? My God.
Yes.
Oh man. But as we said, he did kill quite a few people. I'm going to start with his first murders and work our way down. There are 13 known victims, or 13 convicted killers here, starting in 1975, July 5th, with Anna Rugolski. I'm sorry. It started with um, William McCain, Anna Rokolski, Olive Smelt, and Tracy Brown were all attempted murders before he even got to his first. And these women were hit with hammers in every case. He hit a bunch of people with a hammer. Even before that, the woman that he tried to cheat on his wife with, excuse me, let me take this down real quick. He hit her with a brick. Just a brutal thing that anybody else, like normal person you might want to punch somebody, like, oh, God, that person just makes me want to hit him. But your first thought usually isn't to like, I'm going to try to kill them because they've upset me somehow. That's what it is. You're hitting someone with an item that's used for building a house oh my goodness. It blows my mind a little bit.
And then he would stab them too.
Yes.
But I thought when I first heard of the hammer, I thought it was just the hammer, but then he would like stab them multiple 20, 30 times.
Yeah, I see as many as, let's see right here, 20 times, 25 times, 30 times, 20 times.
I think I would get tired. I don't.
You would have to. I mean, that just seems like a lot of work. I don't know about none of that.
Do you think it was like a sexual thing that he got off?
Oh, absolutely.
Like that?
Yeah. There's actually a little bit of a story that they didn't share in court about an outfit he liked to wear that only got revealed because somebody kind of leaked it to the press.
Okay, yeah, I think I heard of that.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up. I don't know. Do you want to mention that now, or do you want to save that for towards the end when they catch
please, because I barely remember them saying something, and I was thinking, why did he do that? But I don't remember it well. So yeah, please tell me.
Okay, so basically, when they finally caught him, he was at a red light district in, I believe it was Leeds, which is basically just a place where people pick up, hookers or just anybody in that area. They like to do nefarious things. And the police in the area weren't really looking for him, but they were just cracking down on cases. And they found him in the middle of hiring someone, and he was going to murder. Like, he was ready to do it. He had all his tools in the car. He was in a place where they were suspicious because it wasn't a spot you would park to hide if you're going to be doing something in your car, like paying for sex. But he was in a spot where he could try to drive away really quickly, which was, very suspicious to them. When they brought him in to the actual police station, they had him strip, changed his clothes out, and he's like, I don't want to do that. Because underneath his clothes, he was wearing an apparatus he made for himself.
Yes.
It was made out of a long sleeve shirt with a V-neck. And he would wear it so that this is just weird to say, his genitals were just hanging out because he did not want to wear his underwear.
He's covered, right?
Yeah, he was covered for his legs, and he made knee pads for it so he could kneel over the bodies.
Yes.
Which is just horrifying.
Felt so weird. I was like, what? Like, did he have bad knees? Like, that really, I couldn't even picture it. It was hard for me.
No, I don't know how that would work exactly, but it was to give him access to himself. Like, that's what he was doing.
Because he did rape the victims, right?
I think most of the time, no. I think it was just straight to murder, and I think he took care of himself, for lack of a better term.
Because some of the victims, he would leave them very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? He would leave them staged in a way that they were kind of sexual.
Oh yeah, no, he staged the crimes a lot, like, because it's very similar to Jack the Ripper, who would also pose the bodies, but those were more posing as far as just showing gore. His, like you said, were more sexual positions, which is just, I think, just as awful, if not more awful. But
yeah,
I don't think he ever touched the bodies. I think he touched himself. I think that's why he wanted his clothes like that, and it's really disgusting, and it's hard to.
This one was hard for me. I had to, like, when I was researching it, I had to stop and then go back to it and, like, take a long time because this one made me really angry. Not only that, the effect it had on women, like, women had to go on a curfew, which a lot of women got angry, and I understand, because why would we have to get a curfew for somebody who's doing, like, why don't Why don't men get the curfew?
Yeah, they never really bring that up. They never like, oh, well, we're not the ones murdering anybody here. Maybe they should get the rules over there. But that's never the case, it seems. The victims always seem to get the short end of the stick on any count.
Yes, because even like the prostitutes, because they were prostitutes, are like, no, we're like, this isn't priority. But I mean, he's still murdering people. Like, I don't think people choose to be a prostitute. Like one of the victims, I think it was Emma something. I'm not sure. She was married and had kids, but her husband had like a roofing business, I think. And they went through hard times, and they had a van, so she would go prostitute herself in the van, and the husband would wait at a pub. And then one of her clients was the Ripper.
Oh my goodness,
Which is so sad. Like she had a family, and I don't think anybody chooses that profession.
Especially when you have a family. Like I don't do whatever you got to do if that's what you want with your life. If that's what you actually want, not you're forced to do something. But yeah, she had kids. Was it Emily by any chance?
Okay, Emily. Sorry, what did I say?
I think it was Emily Jackson because she was one of the most brutal attacks too. It was just, oh my goodness.
And I can't imagine how the husband and the kids, especially when the kids got older, knowing what the mom was doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like none of that is going to be good for you in the long run. Like the fact that she was brutally attacked is horrible enough. And then to have to kind of go through that story and people trying to judge you for it. Like, oh, what was your mom doing out there? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what she was doing. She doesn't deserve to get killed.
Exactly. And even I don't have kids, so I don't understand the desperation of like wanting to feed your family.
Yeah, that's another good point right there because I don't have any kids of my own. I make enough where I can take care of myself, no problem. It's never to that point where someone's relying on me. Like I have, help out family members and stuff with money before, but it's never to the point where if I don't earn enough, someone else isn't going to get to eat. That's what a mother's job is sometimes, which is sad. It's scary.
Well, she had a husband, but his business, like something happened to it. So I can't even imagine how the husband felt twe
yeah.
That he agreed to it. So it must have been really bad.
Oof, that is rough to think about. Gosh dang. But as we were saying, hers is actually the next case after Wilma McCain, excuse me.
Sorry, I jumped around to that one, but that one was like the most memorable to me because it was so sad.
It also the most brutal too. I mean, she was stabbed the most times. She was hit twice in the head with the hammer and stabbed with the screwdriver 52 times. If they counted all the wounds, that was the most out of any victim as far as just the brutality level goes. That is.
And I imagine stabbing must be more painful than a gunshot, right?
I would think so. I don't want either one of them, to be honest.
I know.
I'm going to avoid it.
But if I had to pick, I guess I would rather pick the gun. Because, like, your body can go into shock faster and you can, like, either not feel it or pass out or die from blood loss faster, maybe.
Yeah, and it's a lot cleaner of a wound, too. I mean, if a bullet passes through you, it's easier to clean it and to take care of it versus
with a knife. They can like.
Yeah, I mean, I usually have my pocket knife just sitting on this desk, but I don't have it for some reason. Nor do I have any of my tools around here. I don't feel very manly right now.
You have a hammer.
But just think about something yay big. My camera's so bad right now. I can't even show my hand off on this thing. Just a piece of metal, a very large piece of metal going into you versus it's very fast and it's going to be very painful still, but a smaller bullet passing through you. I mean, one of those is going to be easier to fix later on if you are so lucky. You know, like they were victims, but there were some people that he attacked that they survived even after being stabbed and hit with a hammer. One woman had to have chips of her own skull removed from her brain. It was so bad. That was one of the first ones that we talked about in 1975. But it is possible to live through stuff that's this horrific. It is possible.
Also, I think sometimes your body goes like into complete shock that you're gonna do whatever you can to survive, and you probably don't even feel the pain until later.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was another serial killer in Canada. I think we might have talked about him a little bit. I don't think we went into full detail. He did on another show called Robert Picton. He was a serial killer in Canada, and he stabbed a woman in the stomach, but she fought her way out and took the knife from him, stabbed him in the face. But her wound was so bad, she had to hold her own intestine back into herself
Yeah.
as she
Okay, I
was
think we
getting
had a
away.
conversation about that, about the guts.
Yeah, it's just imagine trying your best to survive and having to go through something like that.
Or
It's just
fighting for your life, fighting so hard.
yeah. And I know those are like that's an ocean away from each other, but the same brutality. Like it's not just focused. A lot of people like, oh, America's so dangerous, or South America's so dangerous, or wherever you want to say in the world. There's violent people everywhere, so just be careful out there.
Exactly. Yeah, like my friend was saying something about crop tops and how like men think about sex more often. So like if you wear a crop top, they're gonna be more like verbally abusive towards you, or just like more prone to do something. And I was telling her, no, it's like it's their problem because I've been covered up and like I've gotten comments. It has nothing to do with me, it has to do with them.
It has to do with shitty men.
Yeah.
I'm very upset to have to say that, but there's a lot of shitty guys out there. And like
Yes.
you want to think like, oh, that doesn't happen. It happens way too often. It happens
Yeah.
unbelievably, angrily too often. It's just, oh God, yeah. I'm sorry for men everywhere because we're terrible people.
No, some men are like pretty good, but I don't think it's a woman's job. Like the curfew they put on women, I don't think that was fair.
I definitely agree with that. I understand they were trying their best to quell the situation, but there could have been other things in effect that would have helped out more. Hey Gary, how you doing?
Curfew. Hi.
I would not mind that because then I would just go to bed earlier. It's like, oh no, there's a killer. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Well, like when it's like around fall and winter time, it gets darker faster. And I would take Daisy out for a walk, and sometimes like I would forget that it would get darker faster, and just like being stuck at the park where there's like no lights and it's dark. I felt that. And she's a little dog. She's not gonna protect me.
Oh no. What do you call it? Yeah, that gets very scary very easily. You just gotta be careful out there.
Yeah, that's why I don't go during winter times. But sometimes I forget that it gets darker faster, and I've been stuck with her.
Oh yeah, that is a scary feeling right there.
Yeah.
When I lived in LA, I had to walk through Compton to get home every day. I was taking the subway, and the morning totally fine. I mean, there's kids going to school, people going to work, totally normal things. Old ladies sweeping porches, nothing crazy happening.
Lemonade, cookies.
Exactly. I mean, I wish, gosh, no one offered. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not upset. But there was a big difference in feeling once the sun started to go down. Once the street lights were coming on, I had a little faster step to get home.
Yeah.
That's
a horrible feeling. I don't like to feel that. And it's funny, as you get older, I still have it. Like it hasn't gone away.
No, I get that. It's the same. I mean, it shouldn't be that way, but it is. You shouldn't have to feel scared to walk somewhere, but you never should be gullible to where things can't happen. You just have to watch out for yourself. Just be careful.
Yes.
Watch out for yourself.
Enjoy life, but just have more of a beware of your surroundings.
Yeah. And if anyone with hair like this guy comes at you, just hit him with a hammer first.
In the hair?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Just hit him in the hair because he'll be upset.
Yeah, I was like, that is his like what is it? The kryptonite?
Oh yeah, for Superman. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna go back into these killings. All right, I'm going back to these killings.
No, but I imagine that's what the women felt, especially like there were so many women turning up dead.
Yeah. I mean, especially as it went on, because this was years and multiple in the double digits of murders. So some of them had to have like heard the news of what was happening, and were still working because you have to make a living. You can't stop just because the world is crazy. So
a lot of people work at night. I've had jobs that I've had to work at night.
Yeah. I mean, I miss working nights instead of super early mornings, honestly.
Oh, me too. I prefer night shoots because I'm not a morning person. Like I'm not, and I felt bad for my friend because she was like adorable and like cheerful in the morning, and I'm just like, hey, you want coffee? You want toast? But like all like drained.
You are not alone. Don't worry, because being a morning person is a whole different. I don't understand
it quiet?
that.
I'm like, I like it when it's quiet in the morning, and I just have my coffee. It's magic.
Yes, that's what I need. I need silence for a while and definitely coffee. Yeah, it's a necessity. My day is ruined if I don't get my coffee. Like, oof.
Oh yeah, that one day. What was it, last Tuesday, where I felt so weird? I had a coffee later on, but I didn't have it first thing in the morning, and I felt so odd.
I get that. I definitely get that. Most of the time, if I get my coffee, like if I know I'm gonna have it later, I won't. I'll try not to be crabby. I'll do my best. But sometimes it doesn't work. It's just, I should have had it earlier. I should have just.
And I even feel my mood better.
True. Oh yeah.
Maybe he needed coffee or something.
I think he needed psychological help all the time. Maybe some medication.
Well,
lobotomy.
That's what they try to prove at court, that he was schizophrenic.
He did try to go for schizophrenia, which is what his wife had. That's what Sonia actually had. She was not all there. Like, she did have some mental issues going on, but he didn't. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I believe he knew what he was doing, and it wasn't somebody who was sick.
Absolutely not. Yeah, he was a terrible person, but he was in control of his actions at the same time.
Yeah, there is a difference between somebody who's mentally unstable that does suffer from like dementia or schizophrenia, or somebody who's just like his morale and his values are just down.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And everyone knew that. Like, even him trying to say, like, oh, it was God telling me to kill these people because it would take them to heaven. Because he tried to play that card. Yeah. No one believed him. Thank goodness, because sometimes that stuff like will really mess with people's heads. But it didn't work in this case.
Yeah, well, with Heaven's Gate, I actually believe they believed that. That was like a different thing, that they were believing they were part of like God's like their religion. But with him, I didn't believe that.
I definitely agree with you on both of those. I believe the people from Heaven's Gate, that they really felt they were doing the right thing. And that's why they did what they did. And I definitely believe you, or I definitely agree with you, that I don't believe this guy for 1 second. I think he just made it up after the fact to try to get out of it.
Yeah.
But
and he was living the life in prison with all the women like messaging him and like visiting him. I know. Like, that's pretty crazy.
I've been single for years. This is some BS. I didn't murder anybody. This is not fair.
You need to get famous first.
I don't want to get famous for that. I think I'd rather just be single, Like, honestly, like, I'm okay with
like guy in prison.
I can do without the whole marriage and stuff if I don't have to kill anybody. I'm really okay with that.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be alone.
It ain't in me. It ain't in me. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, ladies. I can't do it.
But that baffled me. I was like, all these women, and like he had to lie to them so they wouldn't find out about each other.
That is a little upsetting. Like, he's a horrible person for what he's done specifically to women, and now you're like throwing yourself at this guy who can't support you either way. He's in prison. He's not getting out.
I feel like I have daddy issues, but it's never been like, I don't even know what that kind of issues that is.
That's a whole different ball game right there.
There's like, issues I have.
We should do an episode on women who fall in love with serial killers, because there's a lot of them, and there's a oh my goodness, I cannot remember. There's a mental term for it. There is a term for why people fall in love with killers. Like, it's happened vice versa too, where a female serial killer will get messages from men. Like Eileen Warnos got some. There was this woman in Australia, I cannot remember her name right now, but she was like, I think she was like 6'6" or something tall, and just a big woman. But people were throwing themselves at her when she got in prison. I mean, it really does happen. Like, this is not uncommon, which blows my mind too, because I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
I think it has to do something with the psychology. It has to.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's actually I think that's got to be like if not next week's topic, like one very soon, because that is a fascinating, if not morbid and kind of sad topic. Because you feel bad for these people, but at the same time, I don't feel bad for you. You're choosing to reach out to these crazy people.
Yeah, because they're locked up.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay, like, if you have a crush on somebody, okay, but, like, to go the extra mile and go visit them, talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than, I think, like, someone getting too obsessed with a celebrity. Like, I don't know, who, like, someone really like Scarlett Johansson or something.
I was going to say, what is her name? Bjork or something?
Oh, Bjorn. Or
yeah.
Bjork. The guy who sent her the letters and the poison to kill her.
Yeah.
That was
that's
another
crazy.
one. Oh man, that's
not like having a crush on Scarlett Johansson. That's way
that's I'm gonna murder her so we can meet up in heaven. No, that's not how it works ever.
That is way different.
Definitely, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. That one is a little too much. Because first of all, even if your plan works 100%, that person's gonna hate you in heaven. So you get away.
I don't think you're going to heaven. I don't think you're going to go somewhere else. You're going to be separated.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you don't get to right off into the sunset after you murder someone because you want to be with them so bad.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
I really hope not, or else I will be very upset. I will write a terrible Yelp review of heaven if that happens.
Yeah, there's a special place in hell for this guy.
100%. 100% agree with that.
I thought of that, and I'm not even religious.
But yeah, if everything is real in that sense, he's definitely somewhere in a deep pit of hell because that's just messed up.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go into 1977 real quick because this is a year of, let's see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 murders and 2 attempted murders. Irene Richardson, Patricia Atkinson, Jane McDonald, which is the 16-year-old we spoke of earlier. Terrible, oh my goodness. And Jean Jordan were all murdered in 1977. And I mean, this isn't even towards his end. He ends in 1980. So this is 3 years before he even stops and gets caught. I mean, that's a berserker year, I think, because a lot of serial killers actually tend to spread it out pretty well before the end, which is usually like they'll get caught in the last 4 months of them going crazy, 4 to 6 months of them really ramping up all of their rage and all their killing. He was able to do that for years, and they interviewed him. I think you mentioned it, like he was in custody for part of it, and they let him go because they thought he was somebody else.
Yeah, because of the letters, they didn't match the handwriting, which like that other guy fucked it up because they had him.
So bad. I can't even imagine.
Wait, that's not even a funny joke. I mean, what did you get from that? I don't understand.
No, I don't get that at all. Like, okay, there is like what is it? When the Jack the Ripper the Jack the Ripper came out, the letters from him, like the From Hell letter, the Dear Boss letter, those were all written actually by a newspaper reporter to boost the newspapers. They think that it was in all connected. So they were trying to make money off the case and trying to make it bigger and more exploitive than it was originally. So that I get it because it's greedy. I don't agree with it, but I understand why they would do that. I don't understand why this guy did it because he wasn't in the media. He didn't make any money from it. He actually, I believe he tried to kill himself after he realized how bad he messed up.
I think he was probably trying to be funny, but that sense of humor is really, really off. And I have a morbid sense of humor, but I would never do something like that.
Oh yeah, no, I
have a dark sense of humor, but not. This is way off.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's the difference between us making a joke once in a while here and then absolutely ruining a case to stop someone from doing these things, because he absolutely ruined the case for a very long time. I think a couple of years.
Yeah, that baffled me, and I was like, how did that happen? Like, do you imagine the police officers, they had him in custody and they're like, well, the evidence isn't adding up and they have to let him go.
Yeah. And they not only did that, but there was multiple people working on this case, because for a while they literally would canvass full areas. Like you mentioned before, the bill in his paycheck, the one they could track back to him, it was actually tracked back to a company who did pay stubs for several large companies, averaging altogether 6,000 plus employees. So out of those, just the male employees out of those companies, it's like, okay, we're going to interview all 6,000 employees. And they technically did interview him during that as well. But because they cleared him that one time, they didn't put it in the files that they interviewed him multiple times. So he kept popping up on their radar, like, oh, he's been seen in this area where this attack happened, and he was also in this area. So let's go interview him again. And then that would happen more times later on, where he would be seen in the same areas, but because they didn't communicate properly, and because of that letter in the video or the recording, they kept changing what they were looking for, and he would just narrowly get out, just narrowly, like, oh, it doesn't line up because he doesn't have this particular accent, like in the recording we were sent, or oh, he has an alibi. His wife said he was home, even though she's clearly just lying to us. But I mean, she said it, so we have to kind of go with it for now. And they interviewed him 10 times. The police went to his house, or he was called in 10 times. And he was not caught because of that. He was caught because of a traffic stop, or not a traffic stop. Excuse me. The last attempted murder, where he picked somebody up and they caught them both just for the act of prostitution, not because of the Yorkshire murders at all, just because they were trying to stop a red light district.
Whoa.
Right, that was a lot of information all at once. I apologize.
Wait, do you think technology really played a part on it? Like, if that happened today, he would have been caught so much faster. Because, like, this started in the 70s, right?
Yeah, 70s and a little bit of the 80s.
Where technology was not their friend, and they probably, like you were saying, he was interviewed multiple times. But if that happened today, do you think it would be so much easier to catch him because of technology?
Oh, absolutely. For a couple of reasons. One, just what we're on right now, social media, you can get the word out a lot faster. Now, there's another topic I'd love to go in, how social media has stopped and also contributed to some horrible crimes in the world.
We have to do that.
I think that would be a really good one. Like you said, just the fact that they could have interviewed him, logged it on a computer, and everyone would have access to that computer. And all they'd have to do is go, Peter Sutcliffe, let's see if there's any other files. And then boom, 1, 2, 3, 4 other interviews come up. And every time somebody said something suspicious about him, or once in a while they like, oh, this one lines up with this evidence we have, easily would have been caught. Maybe 6 murders before what he got to get to, which I believe he was at 13. I don't think there's any other ones they think he did. But it could have cut his number.
I think he probably did murder more people, but like it just didn't come to light. Just no, he's murdered 13. I imagine there's more people.
I think you're right, especially because there was so many attempted murders that they were able to find. Just imagine the people that didn't come forth with it, because it's very sad, but a lot of crime happens to women who are working the streets, or as anybody on the streets really, and they don't report it because they don't trust the police either. Kind of goes both ways.
I mean, can you blame them if they were like, oh, it's only prostitutes, only sex workers, and then it wasn't until the 16-year-old got murdered that they like, okay, we have to catch this guy. And even then, they felt like maybe he was the one that made the mistake of killing her, and he thought she was a prostitute. And no, he was just killing women. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, you're absolutely right though. I mean, if somebody is treating you like you're not a real person, are you going to go to them for help? That doesn't make any sense.
It's my test for people.
What's that?
I have a test for people to see who they really are, and I always see how they treat somebody below them, like, well, not below them, but like somebody who's serving you coffee or at a restaurant or cleaning for you. I always observe how they treat them. It's very telling.
See, I like that. Yeah. You should always be nice. And there's just a rule that has nothing to do with if you're a good person or not. Always be nice to the person who's touching your food.
Yes, yes. I'm like,
even if you're a mean person all the time, be extra nice to that person because you don't know what they're doing in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I want to enjoy my food. And even then, I remember I brought my friend to a nail place and my friend was rude to her. And I was like, God damn it. Like, I come here. Like,
I
stop
hate
being
that
rude
feeling.
to her.
Oh, gosh. I did that at a restaurant that I like. And we're all there. And then one of the girls that was with us was just
rude. And you
gosh.
just felt embarrassed because like you go there all the time and they probably know you. Like I have been in that situation and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry you brought her. I didn't know she was gonna act that way.
I like even if it's not a place I've been before, it makes me want to just shrink into a ball and run out of the building. Because I just don't be rude to people who have a job that already is hard enough.
Yeah. Exactly. And I mean, being a prostitute has to be one of the hardest work there is.
I don't know because Pretty Woman made it look pretty fun.
That sounds like that's the Disney version. That's like the fairy tale.
What do you call it? Because she got really big hair and like he got her a bubble bath. That was pretty sweet.
He was handsome. He had a lot of money.
She got to meet George Costanza. Sure, he slapped her, but you know that was still pretty interesting. No.
I mean, if it was like that, I would be going too. But it's not.
Jeez, yeah, we're going. This job over. I'm going over.
I'm like, where do I apply?
Where do I sign up for the Richard Gere experience?
I want that experience.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I think you have to sign up for like a union for that.
Not the Yorkshire Ripper one. Not that one.
Oh gosh.
I want the Pretty Woman experience. I want that one.
Yeah, I think that's the two spectrums. Those are way on the other end of each other. Way different. Oh, shoot. Gary sent us a good message here. Navy back in the 90s crew member had 6 women giving him stuff in a car while they don't know each other dating the same guy. Oh, my gosh. But almost got caught during my watch when he's in birthing barracks. Had his girl and another girl come in trying to find out. It was after curfew and now visitors not allowed in their rooms. Makes sense. Yeah, you know, trying to lock down the base. I guess the crew member gave them. Oh God, but they didn't know each other. Got killed or maimed during my watch. Might be traumatized or crazy. Oh my gosh, that is an insane story.
God, and I don't like getting involved in people's business. Like, what is it? Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Is a great saying. Oh my goodness.
Because my friend's mom, she doesn't speak a lot of English, and her son and the girlfriend were getting into a domestic fight. But I was like, that is not my business. Like, I can't get involved.
Yeah, you know that is a smart thing to do.
No, like she has a husband, she has like other people. Like, I'm not gonna get involved in somebody's business.
No, I feel that's the smart thing to do. If it gets, physical, call the police. But other than that, I think people getting too involved in other people's stuff just makes it worse.
Thank God I'm self-centered.
I don't think that's self-centered. I'm going to stick with you on this one. I'm on your side. That is 100%.
Getting involved in people's like fights or like the comment right there. I would not get involved. It's none of my business. I don't need to know anything. I'll leave.
No, I agree. And except that case, he's on watch. So that's
that's different. Yeah,
that's different, but that's still crazy. That's intense. We're coming up to the end of the hour, and we still have some more murders to cover. So, why don't we wrap this up next Tuesday? We'll cover the end of it and maybe bring in another topic. Hopefully, we can get Lex here because I don't know what happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
So she can
check my phone.
What do you call it? Yeah, so we can see what she has to say about it too. But yeah, we'll keep this going. All right. Perfect.
I'm not going to research anymore because this one made me angry.
Oh no, I got it. Don't worry. I got my notes here. It's okay. I got
this was really hard for me. Like,
so
I had to stop.
There's a very rough story. Mm-hmm. It's 100%, and it's crazy that he only passed away less than 2 years ago.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this for right now. But we're gonna get back on this. I don't want to go into more details with not enough time right now because there's quite a bit more to go through. We're only on 1977. He's got another 3 years worth of being active and other crazy things that happened. So I definitely want to give that some more attention. But for now, guys, y'all have a great night. And we're gonna talk about those other topics too. I'm excited, very excited. Alrighty. Any last words, Marlene, before we get going?
Be kind. Be kind to everyone.
I like that. Yeah, that's simple and good. That's a good way to look at it. Be kind. That's an easy thing to do too, if you think about it.
Or just don't get involved unless it's really bad. But don't get involved in people's business.
And I like the saying that's old. I think it's an old Polish proverb. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that saying.
In my heart.
True. If it ain't my circus, I'm not taking care of your monkeys.
Not my monkeys.
God, I got enough monkeys in my life. I gotta take care of them.
Hashtag. We should get that on our shirt.
Yeah, we should. I think you're right. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.